Welcome to Rich Keys Trading Channel, where we unlock one candle at a time. Please pay attention to the disclaimer on your screen. And with that out of the way, let's get into the charts. Welcome back, my fellow traders. Today is Sunday, the 30th of November 2025. It's about 9:57 a.m. New York time. And let's consider our crypto analysis for this weekend analysis. And I think the only one I'll be looking at to save time would be Bitcoin, as the price action on Bitcoin would definitely affect all the other crypto assets. So, without much ado, this is not financial advice. I don't recommend buy or sell anything based on my analysis. Use the analysis to make your own inferences as well as your own analysis. And always remember, protecting your capital and risk management is your first responsibility as a trader. Okay, so with all the disclaimer out of the way, let's get into the chart. It's the end of the month, so I'd like us to look at the monthly chart on Bitcoin before we step down to the weekly and the daily. So if you look at the monthly chart, we are definitely closing this month with a strong bearish candle being pushed off the point. I think this is the 1.618 fib level as I measured it. Um, This candle suggests that we will be going down next month. We close with such a bearish candle like this. I don't expect us to print a green candle next month. Yes, there will be pushbacks, and that's what we'll probably be looking for is how much pushback are we going to get off this candle, and where is our next destination for next month. Now, looking at it right from here, I have a few things that I can show you. I apologize for my notes on the chart, but it's my guidepost as I do the analysis. So we potentially could get a pushback as far back as probably 98,000. That is on the cards. Okay, looking at the monthly patterns of Bitcoin, you could get such bearish candle. If you do remember, we had one somewhere around here in 2021 when we came down big. The next month we opened, we went up quite into the body of the bearish candle before closing down towards the 21 monthly EMA. Now this time things are different. We've actually just bounced off the 21 EMA on the first bearish strong selling candle on the monthly. So I do expect some bounce, and it's kind of difficult to really tell how much bounce you get. You just have to go on a lower time frame and see when that opportunity is there, but I do expect us to consolidate, and a potential bounce to probably to about the 98 level is on the cards. And I'll show you why this level is important when we get down to the daily chart. So on the monthly chart, there's not much to say other than the continuation of the sell. The other important thing I want you to see on the monthly chart is that for the first time since July 2023 or June 2023, thereabout, when this rally took off, okay, now we have a bearish red histogram bar being formed on our monthly chart. If you look at our MACD signal line and the MACD line, they have also officially crossed right here on the monthly chart. These are confirming signals that we are entering into maybe a couple of months, maybe several months of a decline on the Bitcoin price action. Stochastic wise, if you look at your stochastic cycle, we've crossed cycle high, and we are heading our way down. Um, RSI is also strongly now below our 50% on the monthly chart, supporting the case for the bears. Okay, so that's about all that I can probably share on the monthly chart. Let's step down to the weekly, the daily, and wrap up our trade idea for the coming month. And looking at the weekly chart of Bitcoin, it looks like this week is probably going to close with an inside bar where the open and the close is within the last week's bearish candle. This suggests to me that there'll probably be more sideways price action. We're probably going to go sideways for probably another week before we see our next move down. Indicators wise, RSI is still, at least bounced off the strongly oversold level that we had last week. At least we're somewhere around the 30.11 level. But I do think RSI may continue to make its move somewhere to this level, as this places a resistance for the RSI. If you look back, we had a similar case right here when we sold in March of 2025. RSI was very oversold. We came down to this level. If you look, this level corresponded to this level here, right here, as a resistance. So I think RSI may make it move towards somewhere around 35 level before our next leg down. So I'll be watching out for that on RSI in the next coming week. The other reason why I also think that we might grind sideways for a while is because we've also officially hit cycle low on our monthly stochastic cycle. It doesn't mean that we're necessarily going cycle high. This could probably cruise cycle low here, but it gives you caution that we could, make a move up slightly before the next leg down. So weekly wise is suggesting a sideways price action, and analyzing the price wave side action, I want us to look at the daily chart. Okay, so if you look at this daily chart here, there is something that I did whilst I was doing this analysis. So I did measure from this high to this low that we had here, 80,000 low, right? And I'm trying to see how much retrace of this impulse, because this is an impulse move, okay? Now, how much of the retrace are we going to get off this impulse move? So far, we've done the 0.382% level. This level here is the zero point 0.5. Yeah, right here is the zero point 0.5 retrace level, and the 0.618 comes right here, which comes right into this resistance level right here. So I don't envisage us to get a pushback beyond this level. That's why I have put this box here as invalidation next target zone. I'm not expecting us to make it above this level. Should we make it above this level? That would tell me that the move down here, impulse move, is completed, and our retrace is going to be much deeper. In other words, we could expect price to make its way towards 103 and 109. But for now, 103, 109 is not on my card yet. I'm looking at these levels. These levels are very important to watch in the next few days into next week. Okay, this level here, 90, 793 level, 94 219, and 98 thousand level, maybe 98 573 level. These levels here, because they do correspond to this impulse move retrace. How far this retrace will go, currently as we speak, it's not completed yet, so we can't for sure say. The only good thing is that on the stochastics, we've hit cycle high and we've already crossed down, but we could probably cruise also cycle high for a minute. As you can note on the weekly, we have stochastic cycle low, so we could probably do cycle high here for a minute whilst the retrace complete. For you to play it safe, you probably want to wait for MACD histogram bar to tick below the zero line. That would confirm that the retrace is over. But until then, as the daily chart, MACD is, ticking above the zero line on the histogram bar, and you also do have a MACD crossover on the daily chart. That spells that, play caution if you are taking a short. It's not confirmed yet until one of these tick down or crosses down. So based on the daily, I suggest also that the sideways price action will probably continue. The market maker will probably use the opportunity to do some short liquidation. So expect some, price action move that could probably move itself towards the 95 level. I'm not saying it will happen because I'm watching this 21 EMA carefully, as it has posed as a nice resistance since the fall from here. Okay, but it will be it would not be a surprise to me if price makes its way towards 95 and even 98 level before the next leg down. Stepping it down to the 4 hours, we could already see what is happening here. That on 4 hours, price is just making higher lows, consolidating at a higher low as well, uh, right off the 55 EMA, the 21 EMA. So this is all price action telling you sideways price movement. So if we do get any bounce, my highest bounce I'm expecting will probably be to this 200 EMA on 4 hours, potentially moving above to clear, because here was accumulation for the sale. So there's a lot of liquidity sitting right here. So it won't surprise me that market maker may make a move here, clear some liquidity of some short here, and then the move down would continue. So the price action on Bitcoin, as I'm saying, is sideways. Stochastic on 4 hours is just, mid cycle, but it's crossed down. So there's not much strength really to go to the upside, except that I expect some manipulation from market makers in this price action move. Other than that, that's my two thoughts on Bitcoin. Trade cautiously, but my bias is to the downside for the longer term trade. Thank you and have a great trading week. Cheers.
Thank you for listening and unlocking trade ideas and insights with us. One candle changed everything today. I hope you can already see how today's analysis can transform your trading decisions. If today's breakdown helped you spot opportunities or potential risks you would have otherwise missed, please consider subscribing and imagine what we will uncover together next time. Kindly give the video a like and share with an investor or a trader you care about. They would thank you when it saves them from a bad trade or a missed opportunity. Until next time, keep unlocking profits one candle at a time, and we'll meet again in the next video presentation. Cheers.